Hello and welcome to today's live coaching call and community conversation. Today we are going to be talking about mindset and more specifically what a midlife mindset shift is. So welcome if you're new here. My name is Diane Parham. I'm the creator of the online course, The Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman, as well as our midlife mindset shift course and community. And on Thursdays, I guess starting today, I wasn't going to do it for a couple of weeks, but I just didn't want to wait any longer. We are going to reserve Thursdays for talking about mindset shifts and how we can use the way we think to create a life we love. So super excited to have you here with us. This is a time to come together as a community, whether you're joining us live or on the rebroadcast. So please make sure you're using the comment section if you're live, as well as if you're joining us on the rebroadcast. I love hearing from you guys. It really does mean a lot to me when you take some time to leave a message. So thank you for that. Also, make sure if you haven't done so yet that you're subscribed on YouTube so you can leave a comment, or you're following on Facebook. And then as always, hit those like buttons. It is getting harder and harder for us in the social media world to get our content out to those who need to see it and want to see it. So anything that you guys can do as a community to help with that, I always appreciate it. So hit those like buttons, make sure you're sharing and doing all the things. Okay, so today I really want to talk about mindset because I believe that once we get to this place in this season of life where we've really taken control of our health and we've really taken control of how we show up for ourselves and we really take control of what we have to look forward to in our future, our mindset is a critical aspect of what we're going to have available to us and why are we going to do all this work to feel better and reverse signs of aging and undo age-related diseases and get off prescription medication and all the things if we don't have a bright future to look forward to. And so that is really where I like to speak from as far as mindset. So let's do a little defining really quickly so that we can kind of enter today's conversation. So mindset is the manner in which we look at things. So our brain really is running the show. And the thoughts that we create in our brain are going to trigger how it is we feel about any situation. So our emotions are really triggered by the thoughts that we have in our brain. So if you're not liking the way you feel, I always recommend that you go back and reevaluate what kind of thoughts are stirring around in your brain. And for some crazy reason, our human brain naturally defaults to negative. So we really have to be conscious about where our thoughts tend to go to and really do this mindset shift work on a daily basis so we can start reframing the mind maps that we have going on in our own head. And so that is really where the mindset shift really starts to take place, is when we recognize thoughts as not serving us and how those thoughts are making us feel. Because then the third thing that happens is the way we feel about anything that's going on in our life will determine how we show up and whether we take action or inaction and what kind of action or inaction we take. And then what ends up happening is we have this life that we tend to look back on and we're like, why do we end up in those situations? And it really does start with our mindset. So that is what mindset is, the manner in which we look at things. I defined the midlife mindset shift, so how we're shifting our mindset, to this. We have an opportunity to reframe how we show up for ourself, and I said ourself singularly, very purposely, so that our present, how we show up for ourselves today, and our future, how we want to see our life moving forward, can and will supersede our past. And we really have to consciously work at this. A midlife mindset shift is what I call a very proactive way to live our life. It's not going to happen for us on accident because our past tends to be very ingrained in who we are as women. So we have to shake that up and really identify which parts of our past, maybe some conditioning we had in a childhood or some conditioning we had through relationships, or maybe just some conditioning we had around how we feel about ourselves because of some past experience. We have to identify that and then realize that at any moment in time that we decide that that is no longer serving us, we can let it go. And when you can let go of the things that are no longer serving you, and you can reframe the way you think about yourself in the present and moving forward, that's when we start to create the shift. The reason I like to talk about this in the midlife season specifically is because today, in our world today, women in midlife have so many opportunities available to them and open to them. And we come to those opportunities with decades of experience, right? And decades of knowledge and decades of ideas that we can put out into the world. But if we're not doing the work in this shift part to reframe how we see ourselves and really be able to gather and collect all the things that we have accumulated through our life to this point, we might miss it. Right. And this is why what we do in the intermittent fasting course is so important for so many women, because when you start to look and feel your best and you really have confidence in doing that in your most authentic way, there is no one or nothing that can stop you. So this is where a lot of the work that we do inside the midlife mindset shift gets really fun and really dreamy, because dream about what it is you want to do. Really think about some of these opportunities that you as a woman today in this season of life can have afforded to you if you just show up with that mindset. What is it that you've always dreamed of that maybe you've put on the shelf because you've decided consciously that you were going to stay home and raise kids, or you decided consciously you were going to put your career on hold, or maybe some things in your life, kind of came up that kept you from finishing your degree or even starting your degree, or a career for yourself or a business or a side hustle or whatever it is. And when you start to show up every day with that purpose of you first, so putting yourself first so that you have that opportunity to come to life excited and energized and super optimistic, you can do absolutely anything. And in today's world, that is even so much more possible and available to so many of us. I really find my own great pride in being the example of that. I didn't even start what I'm doing today until I turned 50. I was in my early 50s when I started doing what I'm doing sitting here with you today. And it has been the most amazing and life-changing opportunity, not only for me, but for my family and so many women that I have been able to reach and serve and help them create a life for themselves as well. And what I want to share with you here today is that you have that opportunity too. We all have something that's just burning inside of us that we know that we really want to just take a stab at. And if you have that burning feeling, or you have that kind of thing that's been, sort of nagging you and you're not really sure where to start, hang out with us on Thursdays, and we will definitely start doing some of that mindset shift work. And if you really want to dig in deep with us, I highly recommend jumping into the midlife mindset shift course with us, because that's where we do a lot of one-on-one coaching and group coaching, and some courses that we have available that will help you get a kickstart on that as well. So this is my actual passion. I do it through the intermittent fasting course, and I'm going to do it here through the mindset shift work that we do on Thursdays as well. And it really is to have as many women as possible in this season of life that we're in show up as the best version of themselves. So even if you had an amazing last, 50 years of your life, and you can't even imagine making it any better for the next 50, hang out here with us. We're going to create that possibility for you as well. And if maybe the first 50 or 40 years of your life haven't been exactly what you wanted, or maybe you have some things in your life that you didn't really plan happening to you, and you want to change the course of what's going on for you for your future, hang out here with us. We're going to do that work here as well. So this is really my passion. It's my purpose to help as many women, like I said, show up every day looking and feeling their best. I believe the more women whose feet are on the ground, who are feeling positive and who are feeling confident, and are feeling empowered in the best version of themselves. As many more women as that as we can get on the face of this earth, walking around, inspiring and helping others, the better this world is going to be. And that's really the legacy that I want to leave for my children and my grandchildren. And I hope you have that same passion and purpose as well. So I'm excited about this next chapter of our community. I hope you're excited as well. Bring your energy, bring your enthusiasm, bringing your open mindset, and together we will craft a plan to really help you figure out what this next season of life is going to be for you. And I do think a lot of women end up settling for whatever it is was handed to them. And I really want to change the course of that as well. I want you to create the possibilities for you and your future self. It's a really fun thing to do for a legacy. It's a really fun thing to do for, generations coming up behind you. And I do believe that every woman has that opportunity. So I'm super excited. Let me post in the comment section really quickly, just because we are closing registration tomorrow. And I do believe this is where all this magic does start. And that's inside of our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. It is daunting to think about creating a new version of yourself moving forward, or a better version of yourself moving forward, or a more authentic version of yourself moving forward, however it is that you want to define that, when you're sitting in the middle of waking up every day feeling like you've been hit by a truck. And I know for a lot of us midlife transitional women, that's exactly how we're waking up, right? I was waking up the same way. And once you turn the page on that and you really start becoming selfish about how you care for you so that you can be the best version of you, so that you can then show up selfishly for others, once you transition into that place, the world will open up for you. And that's really where we want to start this journey together. So if you haven't taken the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, I highly recommend that you jump into that class. It is closing tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. The August class of this year will be the last class that we have an active community group. We have just found that not many women are using it. And because we come here for conversation and community time 2 times a week, we're going to have questions in course directed to these live conversations or anywhere on my social media. So I can relieve myself of that time and then dedicate my time into what this next season for us is going to be. And that is really encouraging these mindset shifts for so many of us. So I'm super excited. I hope you're excited as well. Get into class if you want. If you're not sure about August, don't worry. The Intermittent Fasting course will still be offered in our community. We're just going to offer it as a course that you can take whenever you're ready. So if you sign up September 3rd or you sign up September 17th, it doesn't matter. You can sign up and start on that day, and you no longer have to wait for an official class to start. And the community or the conversation feed with the comment section will be live, so you'll have other people to interact with as well. And I'll be peeking in on you guys also. So you won't be left astray. It'll just be a different format, so we can make it available when you're ready, as opposed to you having to wait when it's convenient for us. So I'm super excited about that. I hope you guys are excited about that as well. Okay, so let's see who is here today and any thoughts you have about mindset or mindset shifts. And have you created some mindset shifts for yourself? How do you currently feel your mindset is either serving you or maybe working against you? Let us know here, because we're all here together. I always have been very open about the fact that I tend to go to the negative Nelly side, but because of the fact that I've been doing this work now for since I was in high school is when I started really diving into personal development and self-help type of things, just because I've had a very, very rough start to my life. And so being exposed to personal development, being exposed to having the opportunity to change my mindset, being exposed to certain ways of living life really have helped me change the course of the direction in which my life was going. And I credit that to the work that we do here today as well. So if you tend to be that kind of person as well, no, you're not alone. We're all here together. But the consistency over time of really catching those thoughts and crafting new thoughts that will serve you, I'm proof that you can actually create the life that you want to live, because that's exactly what we're doing here as well. Okay, so let me see who we have here today. My girl is almost always first. Girlfriend, I love that you pop in early and leave your comment. Thank you so much for being such a supportive member of our community. Greetings from beautiful Colorado. Grateful to be living a 24 lifestyle with many benefits. Thank you for all that you do. Charmin, you are so welcome, my friend. I love having you here. I love that you keep coming back and checking in with us. That means the world to me. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. And you just keep doing your thing, girlfriend. Liz from Maryland, doing fasting very well. Need to better control my feasting window. Too many snacks after dinner. Thankful for these coaching calls to me fasting as well as I am March. Oh, she's a March 23 graduate. So Liz, here's the thing that you need to do. And this is the work we actually do inside the midlife mindset shift. You have to create some new triggers for yourself. So oftentimes we snack in the evening because it's just a mindless thing to do as we're winding down our day. But if that's not serving you, because we're not saying that snacking at nighttime is a bad thing, but if you're finding that it's not serving you, you have to find something else to do in its place. And the best thing to do is just become mindful during that time, right? And if you notice that like the couch is the trigger or shows that you've recorded are the trigger to you wanting to snack, you have to put a new thing in that place. And as soon as that thing's replaced, the snacking problem will just basically solve itself. Remember to hit the thumbs up button. Yes, for sure. Hit that thumbs up button. It is really, really interesting. When we were doing all these live calls last year, this time, I don't know if you were here then, or maybe you're the result of that. I'm not sure. We exploded. Like we literally had like 40,000 new subscribers last summer here on YouTube. And this summer, we're not getting that same traction. And I do believe it's just all algorithm stuff or whatever. I don't know. So anything that you guys can do participation wise as community members, hitting those thumbs up buttons, leaving comments, all that really does help open those gates up so that more people will find what it is we're talking about here. So I appreciate you guys. Leona, hello, my friend. It's always good to see you. Kay, Diane, so excited to begin your course this weekend. Is it Kay? Kay or Keita? Keita? Is that how you pronounce your first name? I'm excited too. I'm excited for you guys to go all in. Every single course that we teach for the intermittent fasting course feels like the very first time we've ever launched the course because we're starting with a whole new group of women. I get just as giddy and just excited now as I did 7 years ago when we ran our first course. I'm giddy and excited for you because your world is about to change for all the right reasons and for all the goodness that you can dream of for yourself. Pay attention to you while you're in class. I really do ask course members to be completely selfish, like be completely selfish for 21 days of lessons. Go all in. Don't let social events, don't let family members, don't let other people's thoughts about what their life is versus what you're deciding to do in your life. Don't let any of those things hinder what it is you say that you really want. And when you come into class, I'm going to ask you to share why you're there. And I want you to write down what you share somewhere else, maybe in the journal and the guide that I provide for you, so that when you start to feel some doubt or you start to feel like you're questioning what you're doing, go back to your why, right? Go back to why it is you're there in the first place and go back to what it is you say that you really want, because that really part is where a lot of women make the biggest impact for their future self, is they stick to what it is they really want and not what they just say they want in the moment. So, okay. So we're so excited for you, girlfriend. Leona, Kay, you will love the course. It changed my life. Yes, Leona, I love that for you. Shauna, February graduate. I got my crew neck sweatshirts. Can't wait to start wearing them. Shauna, I can't wait for you to start wearing them either. And girlfriend, you got to send me a picture. This is our next shirt. This is a shirt that we did in 2017. It's not going to say this on the front. It's going to say something different, but this is the shirt. A lot of people have been asking for more like a tank shirt. So this is the actual style that we're going to be launching sometime in August. It's going to be fun. Can't wait. I think we're going to do black and white in them. So keep an eye out on your emails when we open the shop and we start selling these. Diane, what is your email so I can show you some pics of Nigeria? It's DYANN Parham Fitness @gmail.com. is the best place to send me. And I think it's in the description box in YouTube. Want to be natural. Girlfriend, it's so good to see you here today, my friend. Leona, yay for us women. Let's change our mindset and maximize our potential. Yes. A little known fact about me, or maybe not so little known fact about me. I don't know. You guys have probably picked up on it. I am such a girl's girl, woman's woman. I am like Helen Reddy. I am woman, hear me roar. Like I am the biggest supporter of women one of the biggest. I'm sure you can find a bigger one, but I just love supporting women. I love seeing women thrive. I will be your biggest cheerleader. I think there's enough room at the table for everyone. Like I love women and I love women succeeding and I just love it all. So we're going to really start honing in on that here in this community. And y'all, I just went and saw the Barbie movie yesterday. I'm even more motivated, like even more motivated. I love that movie. I love the truth of that movie. I love the transparency of that movie. I loved everything about that movie. And it just reminded me of what my purpose and my power is here. And so we're going to start talking a little bit about that more here. Let me know in the comments. Did you guys see the Barbie movie yet? Nancy, good afternoon, Diane. I join and looking forward to learning and have a healthy lifestyle. Get rid of this statins medication. Yeah, so remember medication takes time, right? Because for a lot of us, when we think about midlife, right? So how many years it took us to get to this place where we are needing medicine to help control what's going on in our body. Give yourself some space, some grace, and some time to exit out of that. It doesn't always happen overnight. For some people, it happens very quickly. For others, it takes a little bit of time. So just trust your body. The other thing that I want you to know is that medicine controls your body, and what we're doing with lifestyle changes heals your body. You will have a double positive going on at the same time. So anyone who's on prescription medication, you really need to keep your doctor in the loop. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think you have to ask your doctor for permission, but you need to keep your doctor in the loop so that when the positive lifestyle changes start healing your body on the inside, then we can manage and control the medicine that's controlling your body on the, kind of like on the inside as well, right? And so you want to make sure that these things start to balance each other out. Right now, they're going to kind of be like here, but your lifestyle is going to create amazing benefits. And then we want to reduce the medication. So that's the thing that I always want to make sure you keep in mind. Let your doctor know what you're doing so that they can test you and then reduce your medication as needed. Leona, January 23 grad, jump into class. It's awesome. Thank you, my friend. Nancy, I think you'll really enjoy the class and learn a lot. Yes, you will, for sure. You have to go in with an open mindset, right? You have to go in with the mindset of you're going to look at things differently. The shift will happen while you're in class when you have all those aha moments. Nancy, thank you. I'm sure it will be great just to have Di for a teacher. Oh, thank you, my friend. I teach you everything that I did, every single step and change that my body went through. I teach you every single day while you're in class. All my aha moments, all the realizations I had about food, all the little things that got me caught up, everything I learned on my journey, I share with you. So I'm super happy. I'm super happy to have you in class. I need to start over. Joined in January, I think. Okay, so all you need to do is go into your course. Just go to fortoday'sagingwoman.com/login, LOGIN, log in your library. Your course will be there. Just start at day one and just go all the way through. It'll probably take you a couple of days of refreshing the videos. And then your brain's going to go, oh yeah, we liked this. We loved living this lifestyle. And you're just going to fall naturally back into place. Leona. Yes, Diane is an excellent coach. I really enjoyed the class. I found the info on how our hormones work to be especially interesting and enlightening. That has been voted, I think, the favorite lesson in class, Leona. I used to do a survey and said, which lesson was your favorite? And that one is always the most favorite because it's not what a lot of people are openly talking about. And it's a big aha moment for sure. I had the biggest aha moment on that lesson too. Nancy, I'm ready for a brand new mindset, growing in every way and every day. Yep. Good. Come with that to class. Shauna, I can say my mindset is working for me and not against me. Yes. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? But we have to really train our brain to get into that shift. We have to go, this is not where I'm wanting my feelings to go, and we just course correct. No harm, no foul. We teach a thing inside the midlife mindset shift course. We give ourselves permission without punishment. We can change our mind at any time, right? And we don't have to punish ourselves, and we don't have to stay in misery. The moment I say this here a lot with our intermittent fasting people who've stepped away from intermittent fasting and then regret it and want to come back, the moment you have that thought of I've stepped away from something and I want to come back is the moment you make the change. That you don't have to wait for a Monday. You don't have to wait for a course to start. This is why I'm super excited about our course starting anytime you're ready, anytime you have that thought. Like you shouldn't have to wait. If you know that you need to make a change or you know you need to course correct, you do that in the moment you have that thought. Don't wait. And that's when our life starts to change like this. It's so fun to see it happen when it's happening in real time. So Fonda, my friend, how are you? I have missed you. For some reason, I don't recall you being here for a little while. Hopefully you're doing okay. November 22 grad, I work on my mindset daily with your mantras. When in doubt, fast it out. Yes. And then of course, this is our favorite, Hungry's Where the Magic Happens. Love this one as well. TQ cake. 24 is the best way to go for weight loss. I just turned 50 years old in July. Keeping sugar low helps so much. Yeah, keeping that sugar low, or the unnecessary sugar, or what I often call the unconscious sugar or carbohydrates, keeping those things in check will help a lot, because remember, here in this community, we feast to fast. So everything you do in your feasting window is going to determine how you look and feel during your fasting window. And the fasting window is the longer of the two. So if we want to thrive in that fasted state, then we really have to make sure that we're doing the right things in our feasting window for sure. Sean, it took me about 6 months for my mind to really be used to my longer fasting schedule. Yeah, for sure. That's why I say don't think about it too much. We ask ourselves every day, how long am I going to fast today? How well am I going to feast today? It's all you have to worry about. Make the decision, and then you just stick with the decision. I do this a lot with my workouts as well. Before I even start my workout, I know what my workout's going to be. So like today I did a 60-minute endurance run. I already knew what the parameters of my workout were going to be, so that when I got in my workout and it started to feel hard, or I started to feel, fatigued or whatever, I already knew what my expectations were. So I didn't make a decision based on that feeling that was only momentary. So that's a little tip also. Just decide when you're going to fast, decide when you're going to feast, and then you just don't break that promise. And I know we were going to talk about, keeping promises to ourselves, and that really is a mindset shift as well. When it comes to me taking care of me, I no longer set goals for myself. I make promises. And here's why. There's a million justifications for why I can let a goal kind of ride, right? Or give myself the permission that it's okay that I didn't really hit the goal. But when I promise myself, there's some real power in that word promise. When I promise myself something, I'm not going to break that. So if you're the type of person who has a really hard time sticking to something, then think about making yourself a promise, because the likelihood, if you're really honest with yourself, the likelihood of you breaking a promise is very slim, because you won't want to deal with the truth of that. But to let go of goals, or let goals slide, or fall short on a goal is so much easier for us, just because of the way our brain operates. So in August, make sure that you're making very clear and concise promises to yourself that you are going to be willing to keep. And then the better you get at really writing those down and redefining them and kind of, finessing them, the more you're going to be able to not only meet those promises, but exceed those promises to yourself. And then making promises becomes really fun. Keita, like Rita with a K. Oh, okay. Keita. Thank you. Pam, August 22 grad, I really love that you teach women how to be advocates for ourselves and think for ourselves. We have been so conditioned to let others think for us. Thank you for all your mindset shifts. You're welcome, my friend. I was also of that camp where I was conditioned, right? And I just refused to stay in that camp. I've switched camps. I've also been that type of woman my entire life. I don't know why, but I've always ended up in very male dominated type of work environments. And I've always had to work twice as hard or deal with all the comments or sexist remarks or all the things, right? Fight harder for a promotion or be told flat out I couldn't get a promotion because I wore a skirt or I'll share those stories on our journey with this mindset shift stuff. But I really, and this is where I've always just been an advocate for women, right? Because I've lived it real time. I know a lot of you have lived it real time too. And I just think that enough is enough on that. So you're welcome, Pam, for sure. Nancy, the only thing I don't have a printer. All I have is my phone and a tablet. That's fine, my friend. Nancy, here's what I want you to do. I want you to make sure that you take all obstacles out of the way. So you can literally go by yourself at the store. You can buy these. I'm going to grab something really quick. You can buy something like this at Walgreens, CVS, whatever, Walmart. And you can just literally write down every day what the sheet says. Simple. Just put a date at the top and then answer the questions that are in your guide right on a piece of paper, and you can create your own journaling guide. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You don't have to do anything that is outside of what you have available to you, and you should not have to spend any money to get it done. So I think those notebooks can be $1. Or a little composition book, 99 cents or something. It's back to school time. They're everywhere. So just grab yourself a little notebook and you can put it in there. Leona, we can figure ourselves out. We have a lifetime of experiences and we know what's best for us. 100%. Tammy, looking forward to going all in. I love to be 100+%. I'm your girl, Tammy. I'm 100+% girl too. I heard something recently about going in 99% is living in misery. Like, why are you going to let that 1% be the thing that keeps you from showing up and achieving your absolute best? And so many people settle for 99%. Don't settle for 99%. Go all in. Don't leave the door open for excuses. Don't leave the door open for obstacles. Don't leave the door open for anything to get in your way. Shut the door and just be completely selfish for the time that you're in class. Then when you're done with class, you can then reevaluate where you want to let people in and the things that you want to keep selfish. Super fun, super easy, super manageable. Loved Barbie movie, surprisingly profound with sparkling levity. I agree. Sparkling, surprisingly profound. Yes, I absolutely loved it. I loved the songs. I loved America Ferrera in there. She was, Barbie was great, but I think she was probably my favorite character of the whole movie. I actually went on the internet and copied the speech that she gave to Barbie and put it in a note on my phone. I'm going to read it on occasion or maybe daily with all of those things that she said, because when she was talking about like, be thin, not too thin, be pretty, but not too pretty, be smart, but not too smart. It's like, isn't that how, especially this age group of women, how we all grew up? Like we had to be everything and then nothing that was going to be like threatening to anyone else all at the same time. And it's exhausting. So I absolutely loved it for sure. Robin, glad to make a live. Love this lifestyle. Honestly, been struggling with clean fast and noticing puffiness and some weight gain. So thankfully to know why. Thanks again for all you do. Sure, Robin. So now all you have to do is decide, do you want to be puffy and gain weight, or do you want to not be puffy and reverse whatever has been going on with weight gain? It's a decision. Once you've decided which way you want to go, you just start going back to clean fasting. You just jump right back into the lifestyle that you've created that you love. Easy peasy. You're not going to have to sweat a thing. Super easy. So Fonda, Nancy, check your local library or the UPS store for printing. Yeah, you could do that too, but you don't even really like if you want the fancy page, you can go get it printed at a Kinko's. Do they even have Kinko's anymore? I don't know. You can get it printed somewhere. You could send the files. There's no copyright information on there, so you don't have to worry about anything. Or just get a notebook or make notes in your phone. Or just don't let the be the thing that keeps you from going in 100%, because that shouldn't be the thing that keeps you from going in 100%. Nell, my girl Nell, August 22 grad. Why don't you become an August 23 grad? Change your mind, change your body, change your life. Nell, what a great question, my friend. Why don't you just become an August 2023 grad? Great question. We should be asking everyone who's not a graduate why they're not a grad yet, right? And then they can jump in with you and they could be the same graduating month as you, but just a year later. That would be super fun. So Fonda, doing great. Just a busy time at work. Remember, we fast to feast, or we feast to fast. How late am I going to fast? And how well am I going to feast? So Fonda, girlfriend, you've got it. And I always love it when you can make it. I do understand you have a job, so I get that. But we do miss you when you're not here. So I always love it when you can pop in. TQ Cake. I lost 42 pounds using 24 and walking. Fasting 2 weeks before a period is harder because I crave sweets and carbs. Okay. So here's where we have to check our brain, right? So why are you giving in to fruits and carbs, right? I mean, why are you giving into sweets and carbs when it's 2 weeks before your period? And is that just what your brain thinks? So now you just default to that? Have you tried to break that? Have you found sweets and carbs that are going to serve you and not derail you? Because there's nothing worse than having a cycle that comes every 28 days, and every 2 weeks of that 28 days, you feel like you're like sliding backwards and you can't catch up. So end that cycle. A lot of times, and I noticed this for myself when I was still in that season of life, was that the healthier my lifestyle, the healthier my nutrition, the healthier I was about how I worked out. And I mean healthy by choices, right? The less my cravings were, the less I had PMS, the less a lot of things became, because a lot of the things that we suffer through during our menstrual cycle are lifestyle related and not chemically and hormonally based on just the fact that we're women. So check some of those things and see if that might be why you're having those feelings that during those 2 weeks. Tammy, exactly what worked for me. Your advice to come back immediately. Perfect. I love it. So Fonda, this is when you ebb and flow with life. Yes, you can do that too, but just make sure that when you're on your cycle and you're in that 2 weeks and you're having those cravings, you're not putting yourself in harm's way and then having to make up for that lost time 2 weeks out of the 28, and then you're putting yourself in harm's way for 2 weeks, and then you're making it up for 2 weeks. That's a vicious cycle we need to end. Leona, congratulations on your weight loss. Yes, for sure. So true. It took me so long to realize this. It's hard for myself for being weak. You're right. Okay. So TQ Cake. I don't know why that's hard for me to say. Don't be hard on yourself, and you're not weak. Sometimes we get pulled into what society is telling us to do, or what we were being marketed to, because we're women and we have a cycle. And so if it's your cycle and you're craving sweets, like we have all these things, right? That's not the way we're designed to operate. So you don't want to necessarily like white knuckle it, but you have to figure out what's causing those cravings and can you fix that part. I can tell you, for the most part, a lot of that will go away once you make some nutritional changes and you really figure out what's causing that to be the problem for you. Nancy, when I took the course, I used a notebook. Easy peasy. There you go. So Nancy, just get yourself a notebook or some pieces of paper, and you can just write down notes and journal on a notebook. Super easy to do. Kristen, IF is the best thing I have ever done for myself. Love this lifestyle. Yes, me too, my friend. I will always intermittent fast in some way, shape, or form. It just is the most common sense, easy, most economical way and healthy way to live my life personally. I don't know if I'm always going to be teaching intermittent fasting as a coach, but I will always live this lifestyle. And so that's when I know it's a really good thing, is when I have no doubts that this is something that I'm ever going to end. And so Nancy, I'm super excited that you're, or Kristen, I'm super excited you feel the same way. Nancy, thanks, Leona. So sweet for you trying to help me. Yeah, great community, Nancy. So make sure you keep coming back, because we are here to help everyone. We want everyone to be successful, happy, and healthy graduates of our intermittent fasting course, and then hang out as community members for sure. So Fonda, Diane, you're a great coach. Your response to TQK was awesome. Thank you. You're welcome. Nancy, I'm in Maine and we have the Lobster Festival going on this week. If I had a lobster festival going on in Maine this week, I personally would eat me some lobster 100%. So I would say go enjoy your lobster. What I really teach you in class is to not exit your life to be healthy, but create a healthy life. You don't have to exit. So figure out a way to go enjoy your lobster event in Maine this weekend, but just think, right? Think about some things that you're wanting to improve on in your life, which is why you've probably joined the intermittent fasting course. Think about how it is you want to be able to continue to socialize in your life. Think about all those things and then just make really informed choices when you're at the Lobster Fest. Like, how fun would that be to be at a Lobster Fest in Maine this weekend? Like, we should all go join you for sure. So remember that what I just said. You don't want to exit your life to be healthy. You want to create a healthy life. You don't have to exit. Okay. So Nancy, just remind yourself of that this weekend. Leona, I found that when I'm strongly craving sweets, I'm super stressed or worried. I try to drink more water instead and stick to the 24 IF. Yeah, oftentimes cravings are fleeting, right? So if you crave something, so remember what we think creates a feeling and that feeling directs us to an action. So if you think, oh my gosh, I'm 2 weeks at this point of my menstrual cycle, I'm craving sweets, I'm going to go eat sweets, then the end result is that. But if you're like, hey, I'm at this certain point of my menstrual cycle and I'm craving sweets, I wonder why. What if I just go have some water? Or maybe I can just go make myself a healthy dinner and let's see what happens to that craving and see if it just goes away. Then the result changes. So that's what we want to think about here. Nancy, I've joined because you're a good coach and know what you're doing and you've been there where I'm at. Yes, I have been there, girlfriend, 7, almost 8 years ago, I think now. So I have been there and I haven't gone back there since I've changed. So be willing to do some changes in your life. And you can be here with us for years to come as well. Leona, have fun at the Lobster Festival, Nancy. That sounds yummy and neat. Yes, that's how I'm thinking. I'm like, how do I get myself a plane ticket to Maine this weekend? That sounds super fun. So Fonda, love that saying. I learned to not exit my life to be healthy, but to have a healthy lifestyle. Yes, please say it again so I can write it down. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to not now I'm not going to be able to think what I said because I'll have to. Here's what I'm going to do, Safonda. I'm going to rewatch this and I'm going to say it exactly how I said it, and then I'm going to send it out in an email to you. So make sure you're on my email list, and I'll send it out in an email this weekend for sure. Yes, I agree, Diane. Usually my sweet cravings will pass. It's just a passing emotion, 100%. And when we're in our cycle, our emotions are like everywhere, right? And we think that sweets are the thing that's going to change those emotions, and that's not what sweets are for. So true. Stress is a big factor. I'm going to look at my diet and some more healthy substitutions. Yeah, here we TQ cake. We do a thing here in our community, and we breathe, we pause, we think, and we ask. So take a deep breath, right? When you're having that sensation of a craving, and then you just want to pause for a second. You just exhale it all out, and then you think about what's going on, and then you ask yourself a series of questions, right? Like, I wonder what would happen if I just kind of let this craving sort of do its thing without taking any action, and just write it out. Or you go have some water, or like I said, you go make yourself a healthy dinner. And once you break the cycle of that thought pattern, you'll be free. You will be free. And then I can't wait for you to come back and tell us you're free of that. So that'll be super fun for you. Okay, I've got to run. I've got to get some work done today. I've got some consult calls. I'm super excited about where the direction of our community is going. Put those mindset shifts hats on. Get yourself one of these to come to our lives. We're going to be doing a lot of work, and I'm probably going to be giving you guys some thought homework to do on Thursday. So bring a notebook to class so that you can do some work, and we're going to make some shifts here. And then, as always, I would love to invite you, if you're a graduate, to our MidLife Mindset Shift course and community, where we go deeper and you get some one-on-one coaching and some interaction with your community members live. So if you're interested in that, shoot me an email at dianeparhamfitness@gmail.com, or check our community email when it goes out to you. And then for those of you who haven't become graduates yet, why not? Nell wants you to be an August 2023 graduate, but in order to become a graduate, you got to join class. So hope to see you in class this month. If not, we'll see you in class in future dates for sure. I love you guys. I will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.